Welcome back to Build to Brand, the show that dissects the ideas and innovation shaping our world, from rocket science to neural nets, and how they build brand power, strategy, and cultural impact. Today, we are unpacking one of the most ambitious tech consolidations in modern history, the SpaceX xAI merger. This isn't just a headline about money or tech hype. It's about how two visionary ventures, one built to conquer space, the other to reimagine intelligence, are now structurally intertwined to pursue something beyond either universe alone. We'll break this episode into three definitive acts: the deal itself, what happened, how it was structured, and why it matters; a deep dive on xAI, where it came from, what it does, and why it's central to the story; Orbital AI, the futuristic concept that's now more than a thought experiment. No jargon unless it teaches something, no filler, let's go. On February 2nd, 2026, SpaceX, Elon Musk's privately held aerospace and satellite company, acquired xAI, the artificial intelligence startup he founded in 2023. The deal, executed as an all-stock transaction, created a combined entity valued at roughly $1.25 trillion, one of the largest tech consolidations ever. SpaceX itself has been valued near $1 trillion, while xAI, fueled by rapid AI model development and associated assets like the Grok language model and the social platform X, was valued around $250 billion. This isn't a simple acquisition, it's a strategic structural consolidation, where xAI now sits as a wholly owned subsidiary of SpaceX. Why does that structure matter? We'll get into that in a moment. First, let's look at the motivations. At a surface level, the move aligns two of Musk's deepest bets: space infrastructure, including reusable rockets, satellite internet, Starlink, and deep space systems. Secondly, artificial intelligence, including generative models, real-time neural interfaces, and large language models that can process data and make decisions. But the logic runs deeper than sharing leadership or brand affinity. xAI had been burning capital, a trait not unusual for cutting-edge AI labs. While SpaceX maintained strong revenue from launch services and its satellite business, combining the two positions the integrated company for a mega IPO, potentially raising over $50 billion and pushing the combined valuation past $1.5 trillion. The structure of the deal, making xAI a subsidiary, was designed to isolate debt and limit liability that xAI brought with it, including obligations inherited from its acquisition of the social platform X. That means SpaceX gains control of AI assets without exposing its core operations to financial or legal volatility. Musk and SpaceX have articulated a broader narrative that the future of AI, especially at scale, will require infrastructure and computing power that goes beyond Earth's energy grid. That's where things get wild. Before the merger, xAI existed as its own company, with its own origin story, mission, debates, and controversies. xAI was founded on March 9, 2023 by Elon Musk, with a public launch later that July. From its earliest days, the company was framed as a response to the dominant forces in AI, particularly the very companies Musk once helped build or influenced. The stated purpose: to understand the true nature of the universe. That's a philosophical mission stated by design, but in practice it meant building generative AI models that could reason, explain, and assist at a level beyond what existed at the time. Originally incorporated as a public benefit corporation, the purpose was at least nominally aligned with broader societal benefit. However, that status was removed in mid-2024. Musk assembled a team from heavy hitters across DeepMind, OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft, with Igor Babushkin, a former DeepMind engineer, as chief engineer. The model architecture and training strategy were ambitious, involving rapid compute scale-ups and infrastructure expansion, including the purchase of additional data centers to support exponential GPU capacity growth. At the center of xAI's public face is its Grok family of language models, generative AIs with personality and real-time access to social data via the X platform. Unlike more cautious models, Grok was designed to be conversational, witty, and at times provocatively candid. That made it an intriguing alternative to other AI systems, but also raised concerns about safety and moderation. In March 2025, xAI also acquired the social platform X, formerly Twitter, folding social data and AI model development together in a uniquely operational alignment. xAI's openness and integration with real-time social media gave Grok high visibility, but it also generated controversies around content moderation, misinformation risk, and regulatory attention. These are challenges any AI platform faces, but the integration with social media heightened them. Now we get into the speculative but increasingly concrete piece of why this merger might matter beyond headlines. Current AI training infrastructure depends on massive terrestrial data centers. These facilities consume enormous amounts of power and require complex cooling systems, and they compete with other energy demand on the grid. SpaceX's argument, now inherited by the combined entity, is that orbit offers advantages terrestrial systems can't match. Abundant solar power with minimal losses, free cooling in space's vacuum, no land costs, or local environmental constraints. This idea, while bold, is a nonsense from an engineering perspective. Satellites already offer Earth coverage and power from space. If you could co-locate compute with that power, cooling, and launch logistics, the dynamics changes. Whether it becomes commercially viable remains to be seen. In some circles, people have already started referring to this as the orbital brain, a network of satellite-based data centers connected to the global internet and AI services. The idea? Launch of hundreds of thousands, potentially up to 1 million satellites, dedicated to compute and connectivity. Connect them through low-latency links and solar power arrays. Train and serve AI models directly from the orbit. This represents a shift from Earth-centered compute towards a space-based AI infrastructure, an audacious idea, but one that aligns with the engineering ambitions of both companies. Let's be clear, this is extremely hard. Launch costs remain significant. Reliability and maintenance in orbit is non-trivial. Regulatory and international law implications are unresolved. Critics argue that today's compute problems don't demand orbit yet, and that evolving chip efficiency and Earth-based renewables might outpace the economics of orbital AI. But the fact that this discussion has moved from sci-fi forums to corporate strategy rooms is significant. However, vision matters, and when a brand starts selling a future, it starts defining expectations. This merger isn't just about rocket engines and neural nets. It's about brand building at scale. SpaceX now isn't just a rocket company, it's positioning as a global infrastructure and intelligence powerhouse. xAI, once a challenger in generative AI, now has access to capital, scale, and orbital ambition. Investors and competitors are watching. Valuations, stock expectations, and strategic positioning matter as markets rethink the boundaries between space, data, and intelligence. Today, we dissected an extraordinary moment in technology history. We traced the merger itself, how SpaceX absorbed xAI into a $1.25 trillion vision, xAI's roots and purpose, from Musk's founding mission to Grok and real-world integration, Orbital AI, the frontier that could reshape how and where intelligence computes. Ultimately, this story is about more than assets. It's about the narrative of innovation, risk, and the power of vision to shape both technology and brand identity. Thank you for listening to Build to Brand. I'm Tanvi. Until next time, keep looking up and thinking deeper.